Well, I guess puppy camp is over before it started. They decided to open doors where there were none. So I'm going to take it down. I've got to repair that before I can use it. And I could put a tarp up over it, but I'm not. Ho, ho, ho. Well, old and crackadated here in its gazebo, and every night, except for 2 nights this past week, I've been out here. I take a drill log, throw it in the stove with 1 stick of hackberry underneath it. It burns real good that way. If you lay it on the bottom, it tends to smoke a lot and really don't produce heat. But if you do it with 1 log of hackberry underneath it and lay it on top crossways, it burns real efficient. Now I've made coffee out here several nights, and my speech was getting better, but this morning I could hardly swallow. I don't know what's happening. I wake up dead one morning when it's going. But waking up in paradise when the Lord comes back. Everybody talks about, oh, they've gone to heaven. No, they haven't. They won't go to heaven until Jesus comes back. Now, before his crucifixion, people will to heaven. But he's going to populate heaven all at one time. But I thought I'd just do a little short talk this morning. I don't know what I'm going to do for this speech problem. I was doing so good with my channel, and now that I can't talk, I've gotten so frustrated, and my views have fallen off to about 100 per video. And I just need to be able to talk, and my music will progress about as far as it's going to, I think. I'll never get back to the movement I need. It's like I'm in mud or something. I can't make a movement freely. And for the flowing, on the floor in my gazebo, I'm going to put down those 2x6 rubber pads from Harbor Freight. 20 of them will cover this floor, then put indoor outdoor carpet over the top of it, and nail the thing down with galvanized spikes. I can't do it with this. I'm not getting the top. I'll wait. Move bear. Well, I can talk a little bit now, but it'll go away pretty quick. I'm having a terrible time with my pickup truck. It's a diesel, and I changed out the fuel filter, and it wouldn't run after that. Well, I finally It's been a year. I've been working on that thing, trying to get it to feed fuel. I put a fuel pump on it, and I can't get the thing on the cam to work the pump. No way to get your hands in there to get to it, to be able to tell if you got that lever under the cam. And if you get slid in there, go above the cam, it don't even touch it. It just hangs up there in the air. But there's not enough room between the engine and the frame to be able to get your hands in there to be able to manipulate it. Ruff, would you stop? Gee. I gotta put up with this every time I sit down. But I put an electric pump on it, and I can't get the thing to fire. It's bone dry in the high pressure pump, and I don't know if something happened to the engine when I was cranking on it so much. Using starter fluid, and it sounded like valves or something in the back two cylinders on one side may have broken. Now if that be the case, it ain't gonna print, it ain't gonna start. And I can't talk for just a minute and then my voice is gone. But it's been like that. I've got a trencher. The lightning struck the pole and burned out the ignition. Because I had it parked right there because it had a flat. And I couldn't move it, so I got the flat fixed. Well, the lightning has done me in again. Burned out the coil. Everything around here. Move, well. I can't stand this. Oh, well, I got the air leak in the electric fuel pump fixed. The fitting on that pump came with Teflon tape on it, and it leaked like crazy, so I put gasket sealer on it, and it's pumping now without getting air bubbles in it, so it tried to fire a couple of times, but it hadn't yet, and I've only got one battery that's in the goods in the truck. I need to put another battery, but that's another almost $200 just for another battery. I'm tapped out for parts and stuff. $300 on that catalytic converter, and I can't even get the fittings for the oxygen sensor. So I'm gonna have to make my own. There's a band clamp you can get to go on there that I can actually tack weld the fitting to screw that thing on. Just drill a hole in the exhaust pipe and clamp the thing on there, and maybe get it to work that way. But until I get that situation fixed there, it's going to keep overheating that part of the computer, and then it shuts the whole thing down. Absolutely insane. What do they expect people to do when they're broke down in the middle of nowhere? Is Chrysler going to send somebody to get you? No, not hardly. Well, if I can just get that truck to run, I'll be happy. It was running great until I changed out the fuel filter, and then it wouldn't go. And then I found out last week that the fuel line was twisted and collapsed. No way it could pump fuel. So I've got an electric pump on it now and new fuel lines, and I'm getting it up, but I can't get the high pressure pump prime up. I'm guessing I have to disconnect every one of the injector hoses and let it pump so it gets all the air out of it. The only way I know. Had to do that on my skid steer because the primer pump wouldn't work. So I just unscrewed the primer pump, filled it full of steel, screwed the thing back in, and loosened all the injector couplings, and then it started pumping fuel, and I tightened them all back down, it fired right up. Well, I decided to put some of those 2x6 foot rubber workstation floor mats down on this floor. I need one. Well, what I may do is get those squares. I've got some of them and use to fix that. And right here, I'm going to put a carpet over the top of it. Indoor, outdoor, grass carpet. Yes. Come up on the subject. So I've had nothing but trouble. But I'm working my way through it. The way they tore up the front of the tent, I'm going to have to put another tarp across the front of it, but I'll get the new one tomorrow when I go pay bills and stuff, and I'll go to Harbor Freight and get some more tarps. I'm determined to have my puppy camp. Ain't that right? I'll get some more of these rubber mats too. I love these things. I use them for sleep mats on my bunk or on the ground. They're great mats for that. What you put on the ground, I can't keep this foot on the ground. Here's old Bear, and Ruff, and Ridge, and Joe was laying out there in the yard a while ago. And there's old Ben. There's my pretty boy Ben. Sweet baby. Tuesday I go get them, Joe and Jack, tested for heartworms so I can get them on the medication. They won't give it till you test them. I guess we couldn't test them while they were treating for parvovirus. But I've got my babies. I got all that mess, the old tarp that was tore up, and the leaves and cardboard. I got all that stuff out of here. I just hope the puppies don't tear this stuff up tonight. I've got my table sitting on the edge of it, half concrete block over there, my ladder sitting on it there, my bike sitting on this edge of it, and of course my cooler's sitting over here in my chair. Of course I have to put my chair over here in the corner turned upside down. I want you to look at this chair. It's been while it's raining. Ridge loves to sleep in that chair. And when she gets up, it flips upside down. I still haven't got my truck cranked yet. It acted like it was trying to, and then it never has hit a lick since. I tried ether and everything else. I don't know what the problem is. My fuel relay on the fuel pump works, and it's getting fuel to the injectors. It still may have some air in it, but I'm thinking I've got several of my glow plugs that are not working right. And man, there's trash and everything down those holes. And it's going to be $150 something just for the glow plugs. I got to order them probably Saturday. I'll have them come straight to the house. I can't depend on that Dodge going anywhere and getting me there and back. It's like the deal I've got to go and take Jack and Joe to the vet. I'm going to have to do it all at once in the morning. And then I know it's going to die on me when I get up there. And probably have to wait an hour or so before it fire up. But when it does, if you take off pretty fast and get up to 40 miles an hour, it runs because it keeps the computer cool enough. Why they stuck that thing on the fender with the hot engine air blowing on it, that's the stupidest thing anybody ever did. That's the reason Chrysler was bankrupt. They didn't have any brains. And all the government garbage on the vehicle now just, it's made them impossible to run. I'd rather have a carbureted vehicle that you can tune. My carbureted vehicles were getting 19, 20 miles to the gallon on my van and truck because I kept the carburetor adjusted properly. I kept the timing set. And I wasn't putting a lot of pollution out. But then they started off with this electronic garbage for the computer to monitor everything in the vehicle. It's like the new outboards with all the sensors on them. I've seen no telling how many brand new Mercury outboards put her in limp-in mode because a sensor went out. They're killing people because people are getting stranded and dying out there. And on the highway, vehicles are dying in the middle of traffic and causing pile-ups. And it's all because of government regulation. And it's got to stop. And they kept hauling the ozone caused pollution, and now they purify water with ozone. Ozone is a byproduct of any electrical spark, be it lightning. That's the reason sometimes you smell that strange smell after a strong thunderstorm. It's ozone. And now they're using it in all kinds of devices to disperse ozone into the air in a room. No wonder everybody's got breathing problems. Scientific stupidity. Well, I'm determined to do my puppy camp. Might get to do it tomorrow night.